Hi guys, it's Lottie here. I've just decided to do a quick update in the greenhouse, similar to how I did last year, and then very quickly gave up on that because not only did my mice eat absolutely everything and ruin my crop, I never had time to redo anything because I took over a garden centre and that has been my life's work for the last almost 12 months. So I do apologise, but I'm back on it and back on the case. So I'm going to give you a little greenhouse tour, show you what I've been up to, what's coming through, because some exciting little bits of growth. This is a very raw video, so I apologise, I am not going to edit this much at all, even to the point where it's my day off that I haven't had for a long time and I haven't even been bothered to put makeup on. So this is totally non-glamorous gardening today from my front, but I do hope you enjoy my little update, and I'd love to know what's going on in your garden and what you're growing at the moment. If you're having success with anything that maybe I could give a go, or if there's anything you want to ask me about growing, sowing, etc., please do comment down below. So first off, what have I sown today? Well, it's a beautiful day. The temperature's suddenly gone up. I'm expecting to have a few more cold spells, but nothing too major now, hopefully. I say that touching wood. So I've actually planted, well, I've sown out some sweet peppers in the greenhouse. My greenhouse is not heated. I know, shock horror, you're all gonna have a little bit of a moment when I say that, but I do have lots of bubble wrap, I do have loads of fleece, and also this mini propagator's keeping them nicely protected. And we are heading into April next week, can you believe it? So I'm going to go for the risk, and I've planted them and sown them even in the greenhouse right now. I've also had the same risk factor and just gone for it with my Gardener's Delight tomatoes. That's the one I've done the little video on. And what else have I done? So I've put pots on. I must explain, I've put pots on because, as I said last year, I had a real problem with mice. Got so excited. This greenhouse hadn't been used for years, well, definitely not since my partner moved in. I moved in with him a couple of years ago and thought I'll give the greenhouse a crack. Mice came in because they've been used to having the place to themselves, and they ate absolutely everything. So the pots are on just to make sure if my tops don't quite fit my seed trays, just to keep them from getting under the gaps. So I'm just going to move the pots out of the way a second, and you can see these are dwarf French beans and they're called Purple Queen. Now, a little bit of a bargain alert, I bought a load of seed from the range last week, and I think there's still a load in there from what I gather from my friends who live locally. They were 50p, well actually they were 49p a pack, and I got loads of stuff. In fact, I'll show you what I bought, but one of them was that pack, so very excited to see what they look like. I'm going to move around to the greenhouse. These are my little sedum cuttings, which I have put on Twitter, and they are coming on nicely. So I'm just keeping them fairly damp, not too wet though, because they don't like it too wet at this stage, and they're getting on beautifully. Then in my big propagator, which I'm going to have to change over because underneath you can see sweet peas are really coming up, and they're getting to the point where if I don't take this lid off in the next couple of days, they are going to go too leggy. And also some broad beans. Now this is a fail, and I'm going to try and sow it again, whether I sowed too early, which is quite possible, or I've got dud seed, but that was cauliflower, and that is not a cauliflower, that is a weed. So I'm going to try that again, but anyway, that's what gardening's about. You have fails and trials and tribulations, but it's all worth it in the end. So that's what's going on in there. I gently put the lid back on. There we go. Keep those beautifuls nice and warm, nice and secure as well from the mice issue. I have got more under here, so I'll just gently lift it. You can see some beautiful broad beans coming on there too. I did a succession seeding, but it actually turns out they've pretty much come up at the same time anyway. And I have got more sweet peas at the back, which I won't get to because I've literally just mouse-proofed this one as well. I've also moved up my little potting bench, so it was up here, but I've got a problem going on here which I've got to fix this afternoon. No glass has come out from the strong winds, so I'm going to fix that up a little bit before I go up to the house again and just make sure that's nice and secure. But I've moved it up because I'm going to try and get a shelving unit in here. Give me additional growing space, of course, every inch helps. And that's my very messy potting bench and all my seeds. So I'll show you what I bought. I've got on the go, oh, I've also planted I've sown these this week. Pea, that's the Dee seed. Normally I don't rate Dee, but for 49p I've got to give it a go. A very tiny cherry tomato called cerise. This is meant to be a lot smaller than Gardener's Delight, but a lot sweeter. My only fear is they're going to be very seedy, so it'll be interesting to see what goes on with those. This is my dwarf French bean, purple queen. Very excited about those, very excited. Sweet peppers, just a standard variety. I'll try again. I'm rubbish with peppers. There's some really fantastic guys and girls growing on Twitter and Instagram and showing their beautiful peppers and chili peppers every year, and I'm such in awe. So I'm not giving up. I'm going to have a go again. Leeks. Oh, leeks, hang on, leeks, we haven't seen the leeks. So they are coming up beautifully. I sowed those, must be about 2 weeks, nearly 3 weeks ago now. So again, cold greenhouse, so taking a bit of time, but they're getting there. And again, I'm going to start removing the propagators, well, the covers this week, so they don't get too leggy too quickly, but they are coming on beautifully. I did get a bit excited. You can see how many I've put in a cell, for goodness sake, but never mind. We all get excited when we start growing. I'll put that back on. Lovely. So that was last week, well, 3 weeks ago. Also got these butternut squash, which I've never grown butternut squash before, so I'm excited about that. Pumpkins I have not grown for years, so again excited. I've got quite a lot of space outside that we're going to turn into veggie patches. It's not going to be glamorous. We are on such a tight budget this year with everything that's going on, so I'm literally going to dig the ground out and maybe just use whatever branches and twigs I can find from the garden to give it a bit of an edge, but it's very much going to be non-glamorous gardening this year, but I will of course keep you updated with how that goes. Got some lovely lettuce, so that's going to be ready to go out. I have just found a coal frame that I can use, so I need to set that up and get those sown in the next week, 2 weeks probably. Radish, love radish, have grown radish. It was one of my first things that I ever grew as a child, that and carrots, because they're so simple. So if you're trying to get kids involved in gardening, or you've never done any growing whatsoever before, do give a radish or carrots a whirl, radish particularly, because they are so quick to germinate and they are so quick to turn into a crop. So there's hardly any wait time before you actually can see the fruits of your labour, as it were. So I always go for radish, and I love them. I think it's fantastic, and as I said, I've grown it since I was little and had a little patch in my dad's garden, and I've not stopped growing them since. Had some last year. These are one of the many, well, the few things that actually managed to survive the mice last year. So they are my winners. Nasturtium, Empress of India. I love this one. Of course, it's an edible flower. It looks fantastic amongst the veg and stuff in the garden. I'm probably actually going to make hanging baskets out of this. I've got my sweet peas, as mentioned earlier. I've got the one that's a patio size, so perfect for putting in patio pots and hanging baskets. And I'm going to fill hanging baskets with these nasturtiums as well. Great edible flower, gets the pollinators in, so fantastic for some fruit and stuff that's coming through later on, and herbs I'm going to have in there. It's going to look great. And I got some fennel, which again I haven't grown for years, not since I had a big plot at my dad's house. So it'd be nice to have a go at growing that again, but that's a much later sow outdoors. It's end of April, May we're looking at with that one. I can start it off indoors, but they tend to do better for me personally when I put them straight outside. So all that little lot do reseeds. Interested to see how they're going to come up and how they're going to grow and the quality, because they were all, like I said, on sale in the range. Should still have them on sale now. 49p a packet, you can't go wrong, so had to have a go. And I've also got some fothergills ready to go as well coming up. I've got my proper runner beans that will be going in the next 2 weeks. Well, probably a week now actually. And I got some, those are the broad beans I did a couple of weeks ago. Boneyards exhibition. I've always grown this variety, always done well with it, and I love it. But if you have got any other suggestions, please do let me know. So anyway, that is my greenhouse update. Not much more to report at the moment, just moving a few things around. Like I said, mice proofing everything, which I'm a bit worried about when it comes to the time I've got to take these off. But we'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed my little update. Sorry it's a bit raw and ready, but this is true gardening for you. So do give me a subscribe or give me a like if you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more updates, let me know. As I said, watch out, because I'm going to do a how to grow tomatoes from seed video, or how to sow them from seed anyway. That's going to be coming up soon, so if there's anyone that you know that's getting into gardening, do feel free to watch out for that one and share it. It's basic, but it's just what you need to get started really. And also don't forget to look out for my DIY videos for the garden, quick makes that make your garden look pretty and have instant effects as well. So that will be coming on again now we're getting into the spring season. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you soon.